does it take to you in your mind to be like a monster BMX athlete?
Pretty much just persistence and dedication, I guess, to what you love, and then I don't know, keep it fun, and hopefully you can be a pro at what you want to do, you know, and just keep doing it.
100%.
Give it your all. That's all I can really say.
Unleashed with the Dingo and Danny, fueled by Monster Energy.
I guess we started. We're back. Just complaining. You're always complaining to me, Dan.
You're loud.
Yeah, well, you know what? You're quiet.
Well,
how about that?
Let's balance it out.
You know, our guest today, Pat Casey, we have like confetti. I feel like your house, if we don't know about Pat Casey, probably one of the most legendary BMXers that's still in his prime. He's only 27. I thought he was like my age because he's been pro since he was like 16.
Yeah.
Is that how long you've been pro?
Yeah. From 16, I've been on Monster.
So let's talk about your house. He has the ramps at his house. He basically lives at the ramp. And as a kid, as a kid when you're, obviously he became very good at snowboarding. What was the first, did you ever write a letter to like a company to get sponsored by?
I made like a sponsor me skate tape that I remember like having two VHSs like next to each other.
Right.
And like, you know, I don't think I ever really like mailed it out, but I made it.
So I don't know if you know this, but I grew up riding BMX. I was never good. I raced, but I sucked. But I always just wanted to be sponsored. That was just like my whole thing. I wanted to be sponsored. Back then it was Arnett and Oakley, but I used to race BMX at the local track in Seaford. And I'd get middle of the pack, but like back of the pack kind of style. But like I used to write sponsorship letters back when you could write letters, and I'd write letters. I wrote letters to Redline, Mongoose, and then maybe one other company I can't remember. Both Mongoose and Redline replied with the letters, basically saying we're not good, we're not sponsoring you. But that was, I wanted to be a BMX rider. Like, look, I got the shins, not quite probably as bad as yours. But I used to cop it when I was a kid.
Dented.
Shinners, yeah.
I got the dents, man. I got some wounds to prove. I had the Odyssey triple trap. What do they call them? Foot pedals? What do they call?
Straight metal pedals.
They're
Yeah.
straight metal pedals.
Yeah.
But like I built this like makeshift. Like my dad built this makeshift ramp that was just basically like plywood like stacked up, or like wood pallets stacked up with like meat like metal sheets. So I had like my own kind of half pipe in the house.
Wow, this is sounding like Rad the movie.
Well, you know, that's do you get that a lot? Like Rad the movie? Do people try and reference that a lot?
Yeah, I mean, out of all the old movies, that's actually the only one I've seen. I've only seen it like once, so.
My friend Josh Richmond's in it, the old dude with the cane. Well, he's young back then, but he's like a Hollywood promoter. You know Josh. He's in Rad the movie. I think Rick Thorne's in. Is Rick Thorne in it, or was he in the other one?
I'm not sure.
I think I don't want to get too far into it, but I think Rick Thorne may be in Rad. But what I was gonna say is dude, you have fucking every kid's dream. You live at your ramp. You built ramp around your house. You've got the sickest backyard. That's basically you're not out on like in the country. You're basically in a suburb, a regular suburb here in California, and you've just got a fucking ramps everywhere. That for me, like if that like you are the living like the dream of when did that come about? Like how did you find the property knowing you were going to build ramps there?
Yeah, kinda. I like growing up, I had a mini ramp in my backyard, and so I always at least wanted like a half pipe or something to practice on. And then when it came time to buying a house, was like 18 years old. In my prime professionally, you know, and I want to buy a house, so I want to have a place where I can ride all the time. I can't go buy a warehouse or something, so it was like buy a house that has property. And like, so I moved out to Riverside, which for the time I thought was far, and now everything like developed around it, you know.
Yep.
And I don't know, moved out to Riverside I bought the house based on like the property itself, so I could build dirt jumps and a ramp and stuff, and just kind of went from there. And I didn't expect it to evolve like into what it has, but it just kind of kept going, you know?
So, neighbors happy, unhappy? How was that process?
It varies, I guess. Like most of the time they're all really happy, and like depends like who moves in or moves out, you know? But the neighbors right next to me actually like come over and ride all the time. Like it's like a 13-year-old kid, he comes and rides, and then the older brother, he's like 30 something, he comes and he's like he's real into mountain biking, and he's like, hey, I just want to learn some like bike control and stuff, and comes over and like was learning how to air, shred the ramps and stuff. So it's like a community thing almost, but just based on like with my kids and everything, like kids just come and ride.
It's like not like, hey, can I borrow some sugar? Can I ride your ramp?
Well, I mean, that's like one of like the unwritten rules of ramps in a way, right? It's like if you build it, they will come. I mean, they'll come from all over.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
It's just like giving someone that's interested a tool that like, and then I can instruct you exactly how to do it, you know, how to air or whatever. It's like, hey, just wait a little bit to jump instead of you're like jumping too soon or whatever, you know? So it's like just things like that. And it's been actually really cool, like lately, seeing like how much just the ramps have brought people into BMX. It's cool.
That's cool. You like you can run your own like preschool, like child daycare. Like, no, don't send them to daycare.
I mean, at times like it can feel like that, but it's pretty cool though, I think. Cause like considering, yeah, my kid's I don't need to send to daycare or whatever. It's like, hey, just go ride the ramps and stuff, you know? So
it's cool. I've actually seen you in full dad mode. We were leaving X Games one year, and it's like I see you doing your job, and you're super professional, and you're like cool. And then I see you at the airport being super dad, with kids picking on you. One kid's got stitches. Like one of your kids had like fallen off or jumped off something and ended up with a stitch or ended up with a cut like on their face or something. Is the mic far off there?
No, yeah, that was one of the X Games. I don't know. I think my son fell off the bed and hit the corner table, which is like super sharp, and split his eyebrow open. I don't know. I don't think he got stitches, but he had like butterfly band-aids and stuff. And it was like, yeah, there's always
You've got
something
dad coming
going
through
on.
the airport all bruised up, kids fucking pulling the back. Come on, kids, in line. Kids all bruised up. It was like,
Yeah.
it was a cool sight to see.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
it was
fun.
a packed airport that day. It was like a Monday morning. That was back when people used to fly a lot.
Yeah, I think that must have been like Texas or something.
No, I think it was Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
I think it was maybe 2018 Minnesota. So what's been going on, man? It's kind of like things have kind of stood still. But you've actually, were you in Brazil? Have you been traveling?
Yeah, I mean, as of recently, everything kind of more started. But January, I went to Brazil and then came back and went straight to Arlington for the triple, BMX triples.
Right.
And then did that. And that was like, everything kind of started from there. And then we just had another one in, I think it was Arlington. Yeah.
Texas.
Yeah, in Arlington for the street one.
Yeah, you're not doing, basically right now you're either doing things in Florida, Texas, or
Brazil.
That's
Yeah,
what I meant
the
to say.
only places that are
two
open
things.
right now.
Or
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi, you can do Fight Island, but I don't think any of us are gonna, make the cut on Fight Island. How is Brazil? How are the vibes how are the vibes down there right now?
I mean, it's still like everything's kind of closed as normal, but not as normal, but as the rest of the world. But I mean, BMX vibes, it was like everyone's still riding down there. Like that, the trails were packed, you know, so that was pretty cool.
So are they like testing? Like, what's the quarantine process? Or it's just you get to Brazil, you're all good?
Yeah. So my process was I had to get a test like 3 days before, so 72 hours before you even fly, and then it ended up being like my flight got canceled, and then like I was like, what's gonna happen? Am I gonna get to Brazil and then pretty much get turned around or something, you know? So, but they said no, it's all fine, and I got to Brazil, and like they only checked that I got the COVID test like at the airport when they check you in. They didn't even check it when I got to Brazil.
So you're basically saying it's harder to get to Aspen right now than it is to get to Brazil.
I mean, I'm not sure, right? I'm really not sure, but I ran into,
I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want to throw him under the bus, but I ran into somebody at LAX that was like coming to X Games, and they'd had a test, but their girlfriend had it, and they were like trying to finagle how to like get them on the plane, because it's almost like, TSA, how it's like random choice that you get screened. It's almost like they're doing random screening at like, all right, have you got your test? Here, yeah, I've got my test done. And then you land and they say, oh, like they may check it, they may not, but it's like if you don't have it, you know, you could get stopped. Luckily, the person I know that did this was very, let's just say, good on a computer and whizzed up a quick little test or whatever it was, and then flashed the thing.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind doing all that like in order to travel, but it's like then you have even on the plane, like you're trying to sleep and your mask goes like here, someone comes by like put your mask up. It's like, geez, come on.
I felt that too. I was on an airplane recently, and it was like all this work to get on the plane, and like the separation.
It's like clearly I don't have COVID.
As soon as I lay down in a full row of seats, I'm like 2 feet away from the next person's butt. You know what I mean? Like so close.
Sitting right behind someone.
I'm like sleeping behind them. They're sitting right in front of me.
Oh, you're saying you're breaking the 6 foot barrier?
Way breaking the 6 foot barrier.
It's all right. They just changed it for kids in school now. They say it's 3 feet. So are you under 3 feet?
No, I was like maybe 20 inches away from this dude's butt.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Dude, what inspired you to get into BMX? Where did it all start?
I don't know. I kind of started racing at like 5. I got like a bike before that, just like jumping curbs and whatever, like normal. And then started racing at 5. And then I stopped for a little bit. And then we just got like random quarter pipes like on the driveway for like skateboards or bikes, whatever. And I always picked up a bike. And that's like what I felt the most comfortable on, and just kind of continued there. And then from like 12 years old, my dad built me a mini ramp in the backyard, and I just rode it all the time.
So did you race? Were you racing a lot, or did you just race like a little bit?
I made it to expert. So like, I don't know, from 5 to 8, I raced all the time. And then I just kind of stopped.
When
it
did you
was
stop?
like the local track. It was called Coal Canyon. It shut down, and that was like the best track around. The other tracks were all like pretty flat. This one was like pretty downhill, and that one closed down. And after that, like my parents not that they didn't want to take me to the other one, but it was just like, the other one wasn't as fun, and just kind of stopped.
When did you start ripping tricks?
I was like probably 10, we just had like those quarter pipes and stuff on the driveway, just riding that. And then my mom would take me to the skate park all the time. And then pretty much my dad was like, saw that she was taking me to the skate park all the time, and then built a half pipe in the backyard. And I don't know, I learned how to backflip at 12, like flip and tail whip at 12. And that was like kind of when that was like not new, but kind of more so than
there were
it
no
is now.
foam pit. We just into a foam pit first?
Yeah, I learned to flip into the foam pit
Okay.
at the compound,
Yep.
or a real ride at the time.
Yep.
Out here.
Was all this in California?
Yeah, it was all just here.
Okay, cool.
Like a lot of my tricks, not backflips exactly, but like I remember flare whips. Like I would just put like a padding right here, like an elbow pad or something, because I would just like try this trick and just eat it every single time, just like over and over. And it was like the only way I could learn it is by doing that, because there wasn't like a quarter pipe to foam or anything like setups like that at the time. So it was just like, okay, send it if you want to do it, you know?
Where did the attraction of like transition come into play for you? Was it just from having a ramp as a kid?
I think so. I like banks and like street and whatever and dirt, everything. But for some reason, just ramps it's always fun to ride for me. And you could do so much different stuff, and I don't know, you can keep it fun.
You make it look good. Danny used to have a nickname. We used to call him Tranny Danny.
No,
Transition Danny.
No, we never.
Transition Danny.
That never really took off, Dingo. You tried to get it to take off. But.
No, Danny grew up skating, so it's like the skating thing for him was like the transition came in, and obviously it worked out for him because he ended up, making it to the Olympics.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I think same way for all the parents out there listening. If you want your kids to be good at action sports, like a 4 to 5 foot mini ramp is definitely the key, right?
Yeah,
in the backyard.
I had a 6 foot mini ramp, and I rode that every day.
That's so cool. I'm like, for me, like though, I just was like really comfortable on a skateboard, and then I'd get on a bike, and I don't know if it was like from my childhood memories of just falling and learning, but every time I take a slam on a bike, I just want to cry. I don't know what it is. Like I just like, it's like that, like when you're like learning,
So much can go wrong.
But
Yeah,
it's
you
just
can
like it
almost,
always like bangs into the knees and shins, like so.
Yeah, you're going
hard.
down with the whole thing. Like both of you are going down, not just like the board. Boards can just like fly away almost,
But
like
yeah.
take you out, but like
Like a
bike, you're
skateboard,
going
you'll get
down
like
with
the
it.
worst when you like step on it trying to get away from it, right? And do like the whip out. But like, what is there like tricks to learn how to fall on a bike to where you're not always wanting to cry? For me, like, is there like a certain technique that you like do with your legs when you go down, or
I
It's just
kind of just
pain.
turn my head.
you just turn your head?
What
I don't know,
always get
instinct really. That's all it is. Just
Yeah.
instinct that takes over and you fall. That's how you fall. That's how your instinct makes you fall.
Yep. And then, but
don't
is it
know.
like more of like different, like where skateboard you can get away from it? Like BMX is like you're like riding until you go down. Like you don't ever want to let go.
I mean, it depends. Like if you jump a jump and you're going over the bars or something, yeah, you'd be better off hopping off.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're going straight up, you're better off hopping off. But I mean, most of the time, yeah, you're depending on what it is, you probably could have rode it out, you know? It's weird.
You got to ride it out.
Yeah, you gotta ride it out. Also, it's like the handlebars, those things can come at you from all angles. That's what always scared me, is the handlebar coming at you a weird way, in your gut, into your rib, into your face. Like,
Yeah.
You're right, you're like stuck on that thing.
Yeah, your feet and hands are fully on it. And yeah, there's handlebars, pedals, pegs, everything that's like the bar ends really that you need to, like keeping the bar ends covered. Like people lose their fingers from like the bars going down and just like slicing that off, you know, because just because it's like an open
Yeah,
thing of metal,
yeah,
it's dangerous.
straight
but
up metal.
So you want to keep the tips covered, keep the
yeah,
bars.
pretty much.
No brakes though. I rode your bike earlier and just was like, oh shit, no brakes, a foot,
Yeah,
slide.
you don't need them. I mean, you got shoes.
Yeah, I got nice white ones.
You
What
got
do you got on,
expensive
Vans?
shoes.
Yeah, no, I don't think. I think they're kind of regular. What do you got, Vans on?
Yeah,
Are you been with Vans the whole time too?
yeah. I've been with Vans for a while.
And then Mongoose,
Yeah, I've been with Mongoose.
Fuzzy Hole. I looked up to that guy growing up. We
Yeah,
did a
Fuzzy's
grenade
the
glove
man.
with him.
We did.
Yeah, like grenade. At the end of that days, we sponsored like Fuzzy Hole and his bus.
Whoa.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I was there.
Who were like your idols like growing up? Who'd you look up to?
I looked up to like Mira, and then like
R.I.P. to Dave.
yeah, Rip Mira, and then like Dennis Enerson, and then like Drew Bazanson, Mark Webb, just like a whole bunch of different influences, I guess. Like I never had like one person I idolized really. Scotty Kramer.
Yeah.
It's just like people that I liked their riding styles, and then kind of make it your own, you know?
So that's what you kind of do, right? You pick and choose, or you pick the what you like out of them, and then you make it your own. And whether you put that to dirt or transition or
Yeah, I mean, I think it's freestyle BMX, you know, so it's, you can do whatever you want.
Yep.
And I don't know, I think taking different influences and making it your own is like the main thing, really. Like keep it fun, obviously, but yeah, make it your own.
So your dad was like super supportive of you growing up. Did your dad come from like a BMX background?
No, he didn't. He like grew up like skating pools and then like surfing and stuff, but that's it. Nothing really. I don't know why. I just got into bikes.
It's kind of that California lifestyle though, right? It's like around
Yeah.
skating, surfing, and like you said they're all around. You just grab the bike every time. It was the thing that you were, you know when you're a kid, like, like I knew when snowboarding was like, I did all these other things, surfed, rode BMX, wasn't very good, but I wanted to be sponsored. But like
Big time. You wanted.
big time. Still trying to figure that out.
You should resend some of those letters.
I'm going to. You can do email now. You can do email.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like sponsors would take it so much more serious though if it was like a letter they opened, you know?
If I just now at 35 started sending my resume to like BMX companies.
Like a DVD and everything, yeah.
So man, you got thrown into it pretty quick. Like Danny kind of came from that as well. Danny was, junior amateur, like a teenager. And when was your first X Games win? How old were you?
I was 18.
18.
Yeah, and I was like, actually the first X Games I competed in.
And you won.
Yeah, I won it. The year before I went and just like poached it and like took runs until I got kicked out. And then it was so cool because the next year I finally got in and then won it.
Wow. When was your first X Games?
I think it was 16, maybe 17, actually, yeah.
And what was it then? Was it just the dirt jumps?
No, I don't know why I've never done like that good in dirt for some reason. Like I always like will qualify first in dirt and then just blow it. I don't know. But
do you not like the pressure? Is that it?
I have no idea what it is, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I just always end up blowing it in the dirt for some reason. But like park, I made it into park, and then that was like my first year. I like separated my shoulder. Like I went to Germany like 2 weeks before X Games and I got knocked out super bad, separated my shoulder. And then I had to go to Do Tour, ride that event with a separated shoulder. And then I went to X Games, and that was like, I was super bummed because I didn't think I was going to get invited back the next year. And I did fine. And then the next year I went back and I got third the next year. So I was psyched on that.
That's cool. Did you get many thirds?
Yeah, I got a lot of thirds. The first one I won was the only X Games I really won. And then it was a lot of seconds and thirds.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of US Opens for you.
A lot of US Opens, yeah.
Did you find like at that age, like you were trying to juggle school and high school and then kind of being a professional athlete? Like how did you juggle that?
Yeah, definitely. It was like, I don't know. I think I was like a sophomore. No, I was like a junior in high school. And then that was like the year pretty much I was like traveling like crazy and kind of ended up being real, you know, like, oh, hey, you're going to be a professional bike rider. And so I went into like independent study and just like got like a packet and just finished it out like that. And that was like honestly the best thing for me because the teachers didn't really understand at the time, like, oh, you're traveling, what, like they didn't understand at all.
Yeah,
so
you're riding a BMX.
it was like really hard to explain, and I don't know, they didn't like have any understanding towards like you being absent, you know.
Yeah.
So then it was like they kind of pushed me towards, hey, just do independent study. And then once we did that, it was like, okay, cool, I'm done.
We went to homeschool.
Yeah, no, I did the same thing actually. I like full high school until like almost my senior year, and then did the full independent study, and that got sidelined for about a year and a half, and then I finally like graduated like end of 19 or something. It was like, hey mom, check this out, like Merry Christmas. She's like, this is a diploma? I'm like, I did it.
Merry Christmas.
Well, it was a year and a half later that I graduated.
I was like, isn't that the wrong timing?
Yeah. Well, independent study, you know, you're going to get to go at your own pace, right? You get blocks of schoolwork that you just crush out and then take a few exams.
Yeah, I liked it because I just got the block of like work, and then my wife now, but my girlfriend at the time would come over and just like do it all for me. And I was like, oh, perfect.
You're
she did it
you
all?
are marriage material right there.
How old were you guys when you got married?
I was 19, I think, and then she was 22.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, it's good. The older ones always take care of you. That's how you do it. You know what I mean? That's how I've done it. Dude, you've been an innovator on tricks, right? So like the decade flip, like where's the inspiration come for like to like create like new stuff? Because it's like even in any sport now, it's like everything's been done right a million times. Even it's like you look at like Axel's success now. I think Axel's success is like because it's so free flowing and people haven't seen that done before. I think that's why people are so attracted to it. And I think you're very similar in the way that you innovate and the way that you what you do on your BMX attracts people. That it's not, it's like go back to talking about those dirt jumps. It's crazy what you see them doing, and I know it's fucking gnarly, but they're all doing it, right? Where it's like you got this mindset where you're like, all right, I see a different angle or a different path. Like, where does that come from?
I don't know. I guess just seeing everyone do things the same, and then it's like you kind of have your own niche anyway, like things that you like to do, and then you kind of develop that like over time, just riding and whatever, and then it's like based on that, even just thinking about things that like you could connect together, I guess, like you said, a backflip decade, that's like something that people haven't put together. I don't know why, so I just did it. And then with other things like double decade and whatever, like there's just different, I don't know, we just kind of did it. It just happened,
Like we were just watching Dreamyard 4, which is on YouTube. Monster Energy's YouTube, go there. But like that's the last one you just came out. So you created this series, right? We're at number 4, but the trick we were talking about at the end, and we'll pop the video up. But like, can we talk about like how Danny was kind of saying it looks like almost like a sex change? It's almost like you're doing a loop. You come up, and then what? Sorry, I completely forgot. What were you saying it is? Will you leave the bike? What were you calling it?
It's a decade. So it's like I spin around the bike. then.
So that's when you go around the bike, but I'm saying like the transition on it.
Oh, it's open loop.
So it's an open loop.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that? Like, how did you know you could switch that? How did you know you could fucking land that is what I'm trying to ask.
I didn't. I really didn't. It's like, well, I mean, it's like if you think you can do it, and you think you can imagine it, then most likely you can do it, you know? So it was like, I mean, I got an airbag and stuff and like learned how to do the loop.
Yep.
And then it was just like putting it there and then kind of getting the motion of the trick into doing it. And then I made the loop just so it's not oververt, so it doesn't, so I have like more time in the air instead of it shooting you back into the ramp. But it's like, I don't know, the motion of the trick, you having to pull back so hard, like change the entire rotation of the trick instead of me doing it like over a jump. It's totally different trick than, because I'm pulling straight back as hard as I can, you know? So I don't know, I just kind of had an idea and then just kind of rolled with it, and you send it until you land it pretty much, and that's it.
What was the timeline on thinking about it to execution?
So in that video, that trick was kind of like the last thing that I had in mind. I didn't even have that trick in mind. I had something else. I just wanted a banger, really. I didn't even have an idea of what it was. And then I just like was like kind of stressing about it for like about a month. Like, okay, I'm done filming, whatever, but it's not like, I'm not that happy with it because I wanted to end with a bang. And then, I don't know, just randomly the idea came up and I was like, oh, I think I could do that. And then I just set the airbag up the next day, and then I called up the filmer. I was like, hey, I got it. Let's do it. And I just sent it until you land it, you know? But that one was just hard just because of how much of a pullback it is. And it was just a little different.
Yeah, I feel like so much could go wrong.
Yeah, it's just like something that I don't know, you're over nothing. If you don't pull back hard enough, you're going to land just completely dead flat. And that's like hitting ramps. It was like a very mentally confusing thing because most of the time you're hitting a vert ramp, you want to like push into it, not pull back as hard as you can. So that was like mess with your head. Like I'm going at a vert quarter and I'm going to pull back as hard as I can to do this trick. Otherwise I'm going to die, land flat, you know, but it doesn't really make sense to your head because like you're pulling off something and landing something here, you know? Like the other way. It's like messes with your head a lot, but I don't know. I just kind of end up doing it.
You envisioned it. I guess you knew you could do it.
Yeah. Like based on me just doing the loop a bunch, and then I did a 3 flip in it. And then after that, I was like, okay, like how can you make that better a little bit, like expand on that? Cause like I know where I am in the flip motion. It's just adding the other things in, which is what is the hard part.
Yeah, putting the pieces together. Is that one of the craziest things ever done on a BMX?
I mean, I guess, I don't know.
Definitely.
There's a lot of crazy things done.
You know, like it's cool because I see that, you know, I remember, was it 2 years ago? I forget timeline, but when Axel had the 110 on your ramp at your house, and then that video kind of went viral, and there's been this like crossover over the last couple years of like, you know, putting the 110s on, you guys jumping on the 110, you guys kind of like ripping around. And I think that like, you know, with even, you know, you going out and hanging at Axel's, I love the crossover. And I feel like you guys, without knowing it, created this new like genre of like, it's like people want to see gnarly shit like we were talking about, like you like the mega ramp, right? It's like the mega ramp. Have you jumped the ramp?
The mega ramp?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Did you have any inspo to do it?
I've jumped the mini mega and it's fun. I don't know. The vert corridor is kind of scary for me. That's the only thing really.
Yeah, no brakes for that.
The jump's mellow. Yeah, but I mean, people do it, you know. The jump seems like mellow, like a bank to bank, but just the quarter is like, I don't know. You see people die all the time on that.
Yeah. What I was like even trying to get at is that like, I think the things that you guys are doing, apart from the decade flip, but like some of like you guys getting on the 110 and just hooning around on your ramp, and like it's almost achievable for the regular person, or they can look at that and it makes sense to them, right? People see a mega ramp or something and it's like, that's never going to happen. It's like watching snow, like people like shred Alaska. It's like the general public's like, whoa. But like, I think the reason why like those videos are viral and people are so attracted to it is because it looks cool is what I'm trying to say. And I think it looks fun. It looks like you guys are just having fun.
Yeah. I mean, that's all it really is. You just kind of end up filming it. And it's like, I don't know, Axel's a dirt bike rider, so he came over with the 110 and we were just like messing around saying like, oh, I wonder if you could do it. And then he ended up being able to shred the ramp really good. And then it kind of like, I was like, had like a little Chinese 50 before, like I got a 110. Like I got a 110 after he came over because of that.
I think lots of people did.
Yeah,
I think 110 sales went up after Axel came to your house and started riding the ramp.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically I had like this little Chinese like 50 that I started like airing on and just bent everything. And I was like, dang, like if you had like a legit 110, it'd be sick. And then it ended up working exactly the same. And then Axel shredded the ramp. And then I was like, just kind of escalated from there. Like went to his, and because he has like the full gnarly setup where it's like, it's almost too big for 110s because it's like real dirt bike stuff. But it's like hitting literally the mega ramp on a little dirt bike.
Like,
that
are you
feels
pin
like a
going
BMX.
into it?
Yeah, like I would just put it into third gear and like pretty much pin third gear. Like second gear, you can pin it and you don't go as high as third, but third, you just whop.
Yeah.
And then the only thing which I noticed, which was scary, is like for me, a BMXer, like I'm holding on for my life, you know? But on a dirt bike, you lean back and you're on the gas. So like I'm just holding on for my life and you're just like on the gas. So that's like the only, and the dirt bikes are super heavy.
Yeah, a little bit heavier than a BMX, eh?
Yeah, but the 110s feel like pretty much a BMX bike.
Yeah, because it's not that much to pull around.
Yeah.
It's you have fun out at Axel's. It's like Axel's is like a playground on steroids, eh? With the way that they just PHs out there and the way they're able just to. I remember one day we were out there, they were digging, they were changing that 110 track around, and all of a sudden they came across a huge boulder, and they get the freaking excavator thing in there, and they're moving boulders around, and they're like, all right. And then Axel's like, all of a sudden he moves a boulder. The next thing you know, he's got to jump. The next thing you know, he's airing and nose wheeling the freaking boulder.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Have you ridden any of the bigger bikes out there, or jumped anything like big on any of those bikes?
Yeah, I brought my dirt bike out there and I hit like the super kicker.
You hit the super kicker?
Well, I mean, that was like the only jump setup that's like under 75 feet. So I was like, okay, what can I like try that I'm not gonna have to send it on and die, you know? And he's like, hey, super kicker, it's just like a step up jump and it's like super mellow. He made it look super mellow. And I was like, okay. Me and Larry went out there and I convinced Larry to hit it too.
Did Larry go first?
No, I went first.
I like Larry. You guys are all so cool. You guys have a little tight community. You guys are all put out really good vibes. Fuck, that's like, it's kind of like if you show up to Axel's with your bike, you kind of have to play, right?
Well, I mean, I was kind of planning on it anyway. He talked me into it like fully, and then he's like, once you jump it, like the airbag's there, and he's trying to convince you to flip. It's like, fuck, dude, it's like, you know how to flip, and we've done it on the 110 and stuff. So, but I'm not haven't done that yet.
I feel like you guys are all you guys just kind of, you're pushing each other.
Yeah, that's what I think super cool. I mean, it's like just being one of your homies, you know, and then just he ends up being, he's a professional at that, I'm a professional at this, so we just kind of push each other in their own way. And the 110 is kind of cool because it's like, that's like almost where the paths cross in a sense, because it's like a BMX sized motorcycle.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you get many skaters come hang out at your house?
Lately there has been actually. There's like Chris Gregson. He's a super good filmer. And then I don't know, we've had Trey Wood and then a few others, Tom Shar.
How's Tom out there?
I mean, dude, they all shred it. I haven't seen him on the new setup at all, but even like Chris Gregson, like he's a filmer for skating and he can literally follow a BMX rider, like any of us, right behind us. And it's like the best footage ever because of that. Like it's like a super low drone.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. What does Casey McPerry use when he filmed the Dreamyard 4?
He would just set up in spots, but then we like met a drone guy. It was like a race drone, and he was just like crazy. Like he was like doing tricks and stuff with it. So like I would do a flip, he would flip the drone with it with me and stuff. So that's like how you got some of those crazy shots. And then the other ones were like 360 cam on a pole and just different methods, I guess. I don't know.
Danny, you had a good follow cam this year. You had a gimbal guard. We got Danny back in the super pipe this year.
Oh yeah, Gimbal God. Shout out to Spencer.
Have you had gimbal god out of your house?
No, I haven't.
We got to get the gimbal god
I
out there.
could see him out there on
100% running
like a
around.
longboard or something chasing you down.
Right?
But he's like a badass follow camera. But he hits every single like big air jump following the crew, right? So it's like you'll see him in the slope and he just like take like a speed check and then just go like 20 feet further than those dudes and just like with like the wizard staff out, you know?
Yeah, that's like what's so funny about Chris Gregson. He's a professional skater, but he's just skating, filming with a cigarette in his mouth the entire time, like an expensive camera. And he's like airing the ramps, following you exactly the same speed. It's just like, how do you multitask like that?
That's smoking hot.
What do you do besides ride BMX? I feel like, do you ever leave, like, because it's, you know, people go to the park or they do whatever and then they come home and you never kind of leave the park. Like, what do you do? What other hobbies do you have?
I mean, my son rides dirt bikes. We ride dirt bikes together sometimes. And then, I don't know, I kind of got into like working out with Larry a little bit. Like I'll go do that like throughout the week. And then, I don't know, I'm a dad. So there's just running around with the kids doing whatever they're doing, you know?
How's that been? They're not old enough to be in school, right? So they wouldn't have been taken out, or they were?
Yeah, they're just old enough, actually. That's like kind of what sucked. So it was like Reed was like just got used to it and then got pulled out and then had to figure out like the whole online learning stuff. But I think this next year we're probably going to put him in private school just because of that.
How's your homeschool? How's your teacher hat?
I mean, I literally just have to, it's like keeping him in school. That's the hardest part, you know, just yelling at him all the time. Get back into class, because it's just, you're telling a 6-year-old to sit at a desk for hours, you know, it's
pretty difficult, right?
Yeah. And just like pay attention to a computer. I feel like that's like the hardest thing, right? It's like, kids 7 or 8 aren't ready to be in like college style online classes, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It kind of sucks, but at the same time, he is learning. So it's doing the job.
At least you got like PE figured out. Hey, everybody in the backyard now.
Yeah. At least we have the ramp. Seriously.
They're excelling, right? I bet you.
I don't even know what they'd be doing. They'd just be going crazy, just being bad kids, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Has it been kind of crazy like with the pandemic in your neighborhood because you kind of do have like a facility that can kind of pass the time by?
I mean, not like too crazy. It's just, there's like sessions all the time anyway. Like I have people come ride all the time, but as of like kid wise, I mean, my son's kind of just one of the boys that comes out and rides with us. And then other than that, there's not too many kids that come and ride besides like, I don't know, there's like a 15-year-old kid that he's like super into it. Like his name's Johnny and he's like, he like learned flares and tail whips and all this stuff. And he's really into riding. But other than that, there's not really, besides the neighbor kid, nobody else.
Right. Where do you see like the future of like kind of park like BMX going? Like what's the next evolution of it?
I'm not sure really. I mean, there's like several different ways. There's like, I don't know. I think there's like the Olympic style way you can go, or just like keep it freestyle, you know?
Wait, hang on. Is BMX, is park in the Olympics? No.
It's gonna be whenever the Olympics happens.
So you're supposed
this is
to.
the debut for BMX, right?
Wait,
Yeah.
so are you on the team?
No, I'm not.
You didn't qualify?
I was on the team before, but it's like very like cutthroat, like off placings from fees. Like this contest, it's like pretty much it's like a UCI event, which is like the company that but got BMX into the Olympics.
Yep.
So like you do all these events through this, and then you collect points, and then
Is that FIS?
fees? Yeah,
Fees.
FISE.
FIS.
FIS.
E.
Fees.
Fees. Is
Yeah.
that the same? I'm confused. Is that the same as snowboarding? Is that the same federation or is that different?
It's
I
some
don't know.
sort of federation, inner sport or something. I don't know. But
Wait,
they
but
call
what-
it FIS.
What-
Americans do. I don't know. In FIS.
I don't know if it's the same,
But hasn't BMX racing been in the Olympics forever?
yeah.
So wouldn't they have used that? It'd be the same, like what's the qualifying criteria? Like you've got to do a certain amount of contests, build up a certain amount of points. Every country kind of gets their allocated spots. Do you know how many spots America had allocated?
I think every country has like 2, or I don't know, might be 1 spot actually. I'm not too sure on any of it because once I was out, I was
You
like,
just don't
no,
care. I'm sorry
I don't
about
care.
that. Like that's
No, I honestly don't. Not that I don't care, but it was like, I don't know. It seems like a very strict program that didn't really. I have fun riding my bike, luckily, still, so
Yeah.
it didn't really seem like it was for me.
It's kind of crazy because like the Olympics this year, when I think it is it happening? Do we know? Like every time I ask somebody says, yeah, it's 100% on. And then I ask like, well, what's the team? And they're like, well, we don't know. And I was talking about, because skateboarding's in it to the first time. And, it's like, I believe last time Japan's saying they're having it, right?
Yeah, they're saying it's going down, and apparently it's going to be the largest unspectated event. They're going to be doing all the events in like 75,000 person stadiums with no spectators.
Yeah, and then
no foreign tickets can be sold.
no foreign tickets.
So you got to be Japanese to go.
No opening ceremony, no closing ceremony, and then I heard that that they fly, you don't get to stick around the whole time. You do your event and they get you out of there. Which is, listen, I think it's good that they're going to make it happen. I think it needs to happen, but it's kind of crazy that the Olympics is like slowly turned into, they just picked all the X Games stuff off. See, Danny went to the Olympics first time in 2002 in Park City and got his first Olympic silver medal in front of 30,000 people.
Yeah, I mean, it was huge. It was like, I don't know, 30,000 or 20,000, but it was pretty wild to see that many people around like a core snowboard event. You know what I mean? Because before that, it was literally like in ditches or, a crowd of 1,000 people.
It's crazy that BMX they had racing in there is racing still in there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
that's cool. You missed the X Games? Hopefully it happens this summer. Have you heard any, like, what's the latest on, we don't really know.
I have no idea. Yeah,
We're all kind of in limbo,
yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
it's like a gray year. It's like, wait, what happened? Where did we go?
Last year was
I mean,
canceled, and then
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. This year it's better. It's seeming to be better. I mean, better than last year.
yeah. But it's cool. You guys have been getting competitions up and running. Was there a big period there, like, where it was cool, like when you got back to the front, was it cool to be around everyone again? Because that was like one thing I noticed. Like I was so used to traveling every weekend and being around a certain group of people, and then all of a sudden, like, you don't see those people for a year.
Yeah, I think that was like one of the main things. It was like so weird to just not see all these same people every other week, like you're saying. And it's just, not that they're gone, but it's like, oh, I wonder if that's ever going to come back or if we're going to be able to do that again,
Man, it flipped us all upside down, and I think it's starting to come back, and it must have felt good for you to like even just travel internationally and go do your job again, like, and you're like, all right, cool, it means we're moving again, I'm not just in my backyard doing decade flips.
Yeah.
Maybe if we another year of lockdown and you fucking do a double or something, you crazy bastard. Sorry, I remember when I first watched it, and I watched at the end there, and I was like, how did he do that? And then today I rewatched it again, and then with your commentary over the top, I still.
You figured it out.
I mean, not really. It's
Should we go give it a
it's
try?
like Inception. You ever seen Inception? I still don't know what that movie's about. I still don't know how he does the decade flip.
I don't think many people do. I think he's kind of like, how did I do that? Oh, wait, that was it.
That's
No,
the trick
that
to it,
wasn't
right?
That was it.
Pull back and kick the other way.
That's what he said. He said, pull back like you pull back like you've never pulled
Yep.
back before.
Yeah, that's pretty much like the only thing that made me land it is how hard I pulled back.
What else you got going on for 2021? Like, what other plans we got going on?
I don't know. I think there's supposed to be like a contest, nitro contest or something in Australia in October. But other than that, I haven't really heard anything. Might do like a backyard jam or a contest or something at my house.
Yep, I like that.
But it's like through Breakless TV, like a live event. Like they just did like a King of the Backyard
Yep.
thing.
You
at
just did that,
Dennis's.
right?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
It was good. I actually won that
You
one.
won that?
Yeah.
That's on my notes, actually. I just didn't get there yet. What do you win?
Well, just winning is like they invited like 5 riders and then had like gave a bunch of dudes just cash that like pretty much had like 3 jams, and then whatever sick shit happened, you just like putting money in their jars. Like they have these jars with everyone's name on it, and then whoever has the most cash at the end of the day won.
See, I think that's how we should do the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
They kept it super fun, and
They just-
I think it showcased BMX like really good in a different way because it's not like straight runs, but it showed you everything that, like, not everything, but a lot more that can be done in one spot instead of just like a run that has to be done immediately. You know, like you can see someone fall 5 times and then land the trick, and it was like cool because it shows a different. I don't know. It was like everyone just hanging out in the backyard having fun, and you got to be part of the vibe.
Yeah, but that's kind of your vibe. You know what I mean? I feel
Yeah.
like you're a
I mean-
laid back guy. Like you don't like, all right.
I like competition and stuff, but that's just like, yeah, that was more my style. It was like, it was fun for me.
Hold for TV, hold for TV, hold for TV. Now go do the craziest shit ever and don't die.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like cool being on your own time, being able to just ride.
Yeah. Have you had major injuries or anything?
I mean, I have definitely, like, I popped my shoulder out and like knockouts and stuff, but knock on wood, no broken bones or anything. So
You never broken a bone.
I mean, I think I might have, but I've never gone to the doctor and really got it assessed. Like my foot and my collarbone before, but they said, because like I got a x-ray on this, like, because I've cracked ribs before. I haven't like broken them in half or anything. And they said like they've seen like hairline cracks like in your collarbone. So like pretty much you broke it before, but didn't do anything about it.
I broke this arm when I was a kid. And
here it comes.
What? No, I just let
Show 'em how far you can move it.
Let me like, you know. So I broke it, and I was too scared to tell anybody, and didn't really know. So I didn't. So I just went about regular life, kept snowboarding, doing these things because I was like 16, and it just it reshaped itself. So they had to re-break it. But when you see, so that's it.
Wait, what are we looking at?
You're looking at me not being able to straighten my arm.
Oh, he's trying to straighten it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
See? And that was because I broke a bone, didn't tell anybody it was broken, and it re-mended, and then they had to re-break it.
That must be pretty painful.
Yeah, that's gnarly.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, dude.
But I don't know. I feel like he's definitely more of a superhero, though. Like,
I mean, I've been
To
pretty
go-
lucky
Pat Casey?
so far.
yeah,
Superhero?
superhero.
100% he's a superhero.
I mean, like, you've probably had what, like maybe 20 x-rays then? How many times you been in to get stuff x-rayed where you thought it was broken?
I mean, mainly it's been like I go in because I got like knocked out or something, you know. I don't usually go in, or if I cough up blood or something, that's like when you're like, oh shit,
that's the
something's
time
bad.
to go in.
Yeah, you not have to, but I mean, you have potential you could die.
Yeah.
So that's why I've gone in like for stuff like that, and then just like x-rays like on my ribs and stuff like after a contest or whatever, and I don't know, usually it all comes out fine.
What was the gnarliest slam you had?
I mean, I have no idea. I can't.
How many times have you been knocked
pinpoint
out?
that.
You don't even
I don't
remember.
know. I can't remember.
Can't remember.
That's about right. So your son Reed is
I haven't ever kept track, honestly.
yeah. Who do you think's had the most knockouts on BMX? Matt Hoffman?
I mean, probably.
Because like, have you heard the stories of back in the day that he was so gnarly?
I don't know. I've seen Dennis McCoy, dude. If you've ever watched Dennis McCoy ride at X Games or anything,
Yep.
he'll get knocked out trying a 900, get back up and land it, and it's like, holy shit.
You were just asleep in the flat
Yeah,
bottom.
like literally asleep. Like almost, I've watched it happen like 3 times.
Wow.
And it's like, gets back up and keeps riding and lands it. Tries it again and lands it. And
Do you
it's
think
like,
he like rides with a
what
notebook?
the hell?
And it's like opens it like, you tried a 900. It didn't go
I don't know.
well.
It's crazy though.
Try
'cause
it
he's
again.
like so smart
All
with
right.
knowing like a specific year and everything for when he did something still. And it's like, dude, you've got knocked out that many times. Like, it's hard to, I don't know.
I heard
Hard to
that
understand.
Matt Hoffman back in the day, he had his ramp at his house, and he would go ride solo, and then he'd have like a little phone or like a walkie-talkie
Yeah,
or
I've
something.
heard about that, like a life alert.
Like he had a life alert because he would ride by himself, and he'd knock himself out cold, and he'd get up and he'd hit the life alert so people would come and help him.
Yeah, gnarly.
You know you're fucked up when you've you're out riding, you ride so much, you get knocked out so much that you have like a life alert button or walkie-talkie. When you're out, you know that you've time to hit the life alert, somebody's gonna come pick you up. That's gnarly, man. That's super gnarly. I mean, he kind of really progressed today. Like, even I'm just thinking now of like the stuff he did on the ramps back in the day. Like, if it wasn't for Hoffman, would the mega ramp be where it is today? Like,
I think he kind of created it, you know?
Dude, I remember seeing that
like,
video.
look at, you know, the high air video. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where else it would have came from.
No,
right? That's the one where he's got like the engine in the bike.
No,
Or
he got like towed in by
He's
the
getting towed
motorcycle,
in.
yeah.
He's getting towed in. Dude, those guys were so gnarly. Like Danny Way and then what Matt Hoffman did back in the day, like to progress it to now that it's this, and you see fucking 16-year-old kids like flying down that thing and whipping around. I forget who's the young skate kid. He's like this big, man. This kid does 900s on that thing. I'm just like, oh, holy cow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So your son Reed's pretty good, getting pretty good on the BMX. Are you what do you think's going to happen there? Obviously, you're not going to force him into something, but if he's got the backyard like he does as a kid, like maybe he'll be pro at 14.
I mean, I don't know. We're just kind of, I'm letting him do it. I'm not pushing him in any way. It's there, he rides because he wants to. But I mean, he also rides dirt bikes, and like he has a little electric bike, pretty much anything that has two wheels, scooter, doesn't matter. He's just on the ramp having fun.
Kids love scooters, eh?
Yeah, crazy.
Like where did that
he
come
put his
from?
bike down for like 2 weeks and was like, no, I'm a scooter rider now. I'm like, dude, what? And then out of nowhere, he just picked up his bike again, and he's like, nah, I'm riding bikes.
I mean, he's got the choice.
Cool. Yeah,
he's got the
choose
choice.
what you want.
Do you see that he has the same love though for you like when he looks at a bike? Like, does that remind you of when you were a kid?
Yeah, for sure. He definitely he's out there riding regardless. I never ever am telling him like, come ride with me. It's like, if anything, I'm like, dude, give me a damn minute so I can like try to do something real quick, because you're always there riding. But it's like, that's sick. I couldn't ask for anything more,
No. I want to come back and I want you to, as live, I want you to be my dad.
No, it's really cool. Like, especially like when you watch, I mean, he started like even on a little strider, like dropping in onto the ramp, like a 6-foot ramp at 2 years old. And that's like, holy shit. So now like just even seeing him evolve, he can make his way around the whole entire ramp. And it's like, it's really cool. Like it's his ramp.
Yeah, it is his ramp.
Yeah.
Who's crushing the scene right now in BMX?
I mean, depends. There's a lot of people killing it. I mean, I don't know. Depends on what you're referring to, like Instagram or video parts or what. Like, I think Kevin's always killing it. Larry's killing it. There's this kid Kieran Riley in England. He's like always putting out new clips that you've never seen before. And then I don't know. I have this little shredder that I was talking about, Johnny. He was like coming over all the time. He's like getting really good. And I don't know. Other than that, we've been on quarantine. The only thing I can see is Instagram clips, Do
you think that because that's the thing, right? Like, do you think that coming out of quarantine that people have learned some things and it's been a year and progression does happen pretty quick in these sports, that like when we get back into the swing of competitions or whatnot, that we'll see some tricks we haven't seen before?
I mean, definitely. I think so. Like just based on time going by in general, but yeah, there's literally nothing else you can do except progress right now. So it's all people are doing.
Yeah, I like that. What about some advice for like young kids trying to come up and, be the next Pat Casey?
I don't know. Keep it fun. Have fun with it and do your own thing with it. That's like what keeps it fun, really, to me.
I feel like that's what we did.
Yeah, it was all about like being unique,
For me, I didn't take one person's influence. Like I took multiple influences and made it my own, not pick someone and like, I want to be like this, So I think that's the main thing. Don't like idolize anyone and like make things your own.
Yeah. Do you really have a pet pig?
Yeah, I have 2 pet pigs.
So like, is the pet pig like eventually, does it stay the pet pig or does it get so big that we're not going to eat?
I don't know. We'll see.
We're not going to do the Homer Simpson and eat the pet pig, are we?
These guys are pretty destructive, so we'll see.
I've seen them as like, because I know a few people that have had them too, like they're cute when they're little and cute and small, but like pigs get, like they don't stay piglets forever, right?
Yeah, I mean, basically my wife just got them like, because she thought it would be like a dog, like live in the house like a dog, whatever, and then it's like, I don't know. Then she got 2, and then once we got 2, it was like, okay, move them down.
Move them outside.
Move them outside to where the chickens are. And so I just built like an area around like where the chickens are and made like that like the little farm area pretty much. And then I don't know. I don't think we're probably not gonna eat them. But I looked it up. That does say you can if you want to.
Can.
But pigs live to like 20, and like these things are like they became a pet, you know.
Yeah.
Especially the one living inside. The other one isn't very friendly and nice.
Right. We'll eat
So,
that one.
Yeah, for sure.
That was first to go.
If shit hits the fan at all, he is the first to go.
Or if he gets onto the ramp and you land on him.
Are you the chickens, do you eat their eggs? Like,
Yeah, we eat the eggs.
yeah, natural.
Yeah.
I have my vegan friends call them happy eggs. Like if they know an egg comes from a home, like a chicken that lives in a home, like with pats, with pigs, they'll eat those eggs.
And they'll eat them.
Yeah, they're called happy eggs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we get like I just went down there today. We have 16 chickens and we get like 7 eggs a day at least.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so like I literally have like over 60 eggs in the refrigerator right now, just like stacked.
So the neighbors
You can't
come,
even eat it enough.
they get to skate, scooter, put their 110s, ride their bikes on the ramp, and then they get eggs to go home with. It's like the go
Yeah, I mean,
present.
people lately have been pretty picky about the eggs. I mean, I don't know.
Really? Like
just
picky,
know.
they don't want them?
Yeah, just like, oh no, I don't eat eggs or whatever. And then like, I mean, I understand sometimes like the eggs, like it's
hard to get home with an egg
well,
in your
no,
pocket.
the eggs are just like covered in like fluff or like sometimes some chicken shit or something.
Yeah, a little
you know?
chicken
So it's like,
shit with some
not so
grass stuck
appetizing,
to
but
it. Where
once
I
you
was
crack it
building,
open, it tastes better.
I was building a little tiny hut over fall, and at my friend's house, Allegretto's, Nick's.
Yep.
He's got chicken coop, and it was sick. I was rolling home with like 12 eggs. I was bringing like an egg carton, going home, going with eggs.
Chicken coop's the way of the future, man.
It is. It's insane.
I think everybody should have chicken. We should have chickens here.
Well, it's like you
Can we
just
get
like
chickens here?
transform some grain into some really cool shell with deliciousness in it.
Next time you come back, we'll have a chicken coop here. I promise. Yo, so you're one of the original, like you've been on the Monster program a long time, you know, and we're surrounded by Larry Edgar and Andy Buckworth and some of the biggest BMX legends. What does it take to you in your mind to be like a Monster BMX athlete?
I have no idea. Pretty much just persistence and dedication, I guess, to what you love, and then I don't know, keep it fun, and hopefully you can be a pro at what you want to do, you know, and just keep doing it.
100%.
Give it your all. That's all I can really say.
I like that. So like what we usually like to do here at the end is Danny's got a bit of a lightning round that he likes to fire.
Lightning round questions.
We'll fire some questions off for you. So be quick-witted, and sometimes he scours the internet for days. He takes these very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go.
What is the worst way to slam on a BMX?
On your face.
In your face.
Not on the balls.
I mean, I would say getting knocked out really is probably the worst.
Yeah, he
'cause
doesn't
that's
even know how many
face
times he's
knockout.
been knocked out. So it's like too many, obviously.
What was your funnest BMX trip ever?
Funnest BMX trips I think I've had is probably to Africa, like South Africa. It's not even the BMX part almost. It's like as a trip, you just get to do the most crazy shit. Go like diving with sharks in a cage, or like go to have like monkeys crawl all over you, or go to some safari or something, like just some crazy things that you've never even expected to do on a riding
Yeah,
trip.
that's
you know?
so sick, right? Like a BMX bike brought you all the way to Africa.
Yeah, like that just kind of blows my mind.
What's your go-to comfort food?
I have no idea. Probably cereal, actually. I still eat cereal.
Lucky Charms or Count
Cinnamon
Chocula?
Toast Crunch.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
banger.
that's my favorite.
I got into Captain
and that's
Crunch
like
2 years
that's
ago.
like if my wife doesn't make dinner, sometimes I'll just be like, screw it, I'll have some cereal, you know?
Right, like if mom's gone, is it cereal like for everyone for dinner sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes. Pick your cereal, kids.
I like that.
Favorite BMXer of all time?
Favorite BMXer of all time. I don't know. Like I said, my influences change so much. Currently, though, my favorite rider, I would say probably is, I think Kevin Peraza. He's like one of my favorites.
Oh, we got to check him out. What's his Instagram?
I don't know, Kevin Peraza.
Yeah, he's a
BMX.
monster guy.
Hi, Kevin Peraza.
Follow him, dude. What's up with you, man? I follow him.
I'm over here asking you questions. All right, my phone is on airplane right now. Best BMX video part of all time.
Mike Aiken and Wide Awake Nightmare. I watched that like religiously growing up. I don't know. That was like the video I always watched.
What are you going to do after this interview?
Probably go ride a little bit, and then I'm currently working on the jumps to get them back running again. So probably get someone over to dig for a little bit.
Is that hard to get friends to come dig? Do they know?
Oh,
like
yeah.
when it's a dig day?
Oh yeah.
Like your text is different. Like, hey man.
He's like, oh
it's
yeah.
like-
Why is he calling me at 8? He probably wants me
It's
to
like
come
all the
dig.
blinds just like it's closed, and like everyone just yeah.
Uh,
Seriously, nobody wants to ever dig.
What's the longest you ever dug for?
Just like
Just a
all
full
day. Yeah.
Full
all
day dig. And just shovels?
Yeah, right now, like I think next week Axel is gonna bring out his tractor.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bring the
and-
big dog over.
Well, he has like that skid steer, so
Uh-huh.
like I have a dirt quarter that I want plowed to berm. Like that's like the last step. Everything else I'm just like refacing, making it look nice, and then
Yeah.
I have like one change, and then it should be running.
What's one thing you wish you knew when you were younger that you know now?
I have no idea.
That's a
really.
tough
That's like
one. What about
that's,
you?
That's like
I mean,
that's a hard
one
one
thing
for
that
a
I knew?
fast.
One thing you wish you knew.
One thing I wish I knew. I don't know. You know,
I got one.
that the Lakers were gonna win the championship last year.
That would have been cool to bet on. I think one thing I wish I
Yeah,
knew.
that's all I can think is like something that
I guess I wish I knew Velveeta wasn't real cheese when I was a kid.
You know, maybe I wish I knew
Or-
that like Facebook was gonna be so huge I would have bought some stock.
Yeah, yeah. You wouldn't have invested all your money into MySpace.
I went hard on MySpace, dude. I went down with the ship.
And those are really all the questions I have
Man, well,
in this round.
Pat Casey, we really appreciate you coming in and stepping in, and it's cool, man. You're a living legend, and you're a super dad, and you're fucking and rad BMXer. Is the can we do a double decade? That's not possible, huh?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
It can be done.
Okay, cool. It's as long as I know that it can be done, that like we can get that thing done.
No, double decade has been done.
Would that be a
Yeah, but-
backflip double spin, or would it be
Yeah, it's the
a double
there's
flip
no
double
the backflip
spin?
double decade hasn't been done.
Okay, backflip
So-
double decade hasn't been done.
Now you got to pull.
I don't
really-
know about that one.
You got to
though,
pull really
but-
hard. You got to start doing some wrist pumps, hey?
Yeah.
Man, well, I really appreciate you coming by, and you know it's awesome. So just keep it up, dude. And Danny, you know we're just here, and we're getting better at this, and we appreciate everybody listening. Available on all platforms. Like, subscribe. We want people to start leaving comments. We're gonna have sign gear, Pat Casey sign gear, Najee Houston sign gear, Big Boy sign gear. And we're going to be giving away Monster fridges and free supplies, year supplies of Monster Energy. And we want you to start commenting on the YouTube, on the Apple Podcast, Spotify, on all platforms on why you deserve, signed merch from Monster Energy, and also, the fridge with the supply of drinks. And me and Danny are going to start scouring through
right.
that. Right. And we're going to start they're going to be on your cards, and we're going to start reading you guys
Tell
out.
us why you want this fridge.
Exactly.
This fridge will be yours.
Exactly. We're going to
Not
send that.
this one.
No,
This
we're
one
going to send that one. We're going to send
the
that
bigger
one.
one.
Yeah, we're sending the big one.
and the little ones.
Yeah. So again, thanks for everybody for tuning in for another episode Unleashed. That's a wrap with Pat Casey.
Unleashed with the Dingo and Danny. Fueled by Monster Energy.